Business finance. So I get the question of per share earnings or companies per share earnings. So one thing the intelligent investor says is to, one, don't take earnings too seriously. As you guys know, or people who are watching this, YouTubers that are watching this. Okay, so per share earnings. What does that mean? I get lots of questions with that, and how seriously should we take that when we're doing our due diligence with companies? One, I would say the same thing that intelligent investor said is don't take any years per earnings too seriously. So for instance, if a company is trying to make high profits, for instance, they may try to cut. And it would be like me, I'm in the gym right now and I'm wearing my flip-flops. It's probably not good for me to be wearing my flip-flops too long. Eventually, if I do some deadlifts and I get 45 smashing on my toes, I am going to be not just, hurting, I'm going to be out for a period of time. So sometimes the company's greatest profits, the most profitable companies, can be the most dangerous. Because one, with profits, is the higher the profit, the higher the risk. So from that point on, and that's earnings. We're not talking about growth or anything like that. We're talking about actual profits. So the higher the profits, the higher the risk sometimes. So people are going to be cutting. So if, metaphorically, I'm going to have to eventually get some tennis shoes here. Or I'm going to be hurting my feet. But if it's like, hey, look, flip-flops are cheaper than shoes, let me just focus on that. And of course, in the long term, per earnings, you have to understand that company. You talk about stocks. I think everybody forgets at different points that a stock is a company. So if a stock is a company, then does that company provide food, water, shelter? Does it provide something relevant, a product, a service that is so in demand that we have to have that? As Bo Diddley would say, you can get ripped off quicker with a guy with a pen than you can with a guy with a gun. So also as well, remember that, the executives, different people like that are going to do everything that they can to be creative with financing, to show high earnings. So at the end of the day, you really got to know the company. You got to know its product. You got to know what the ratios, whether it be the EBITDA, the price to earnings. You got to understand what other companies that are similar to this company are doing, and how their stock is selling, what is a good price, what is a discounted price, and also looking at the long-term history of that company. Okay, so we need to understand that company. So for instance, going back to analogy real quick, a swimmer, yes, he's going to be wearing flip-flops before he goes and swims. He's not going to be going swimming with his flip-flops, of course, obviously, but that's the him. But for instance, a bodybuilder, are you going to see him wearing flip-flops like me? Maybe once or twice if he forgets something, or he's going straight from the beach to the gym, or from the gym to the beach or something. He may wear flip-flops once or twice, but from that point on, it's too much of a risk. He's going to bust his toe, he's going to bust his foot. It just doesn't make sense. So number one, understand that company. Understand what is that business doing. Number two, understand what are the competitors selling at. What is their EBITDA? What is their price to earnings? How are they selling? And from that point on, remember, buy low, sell high. When everybody's saying this stock's going to go to the moon, don't buy it. Just don't do it. Number one, look at the footnotes. Look to see what accounting practices do they do. How do they determine their earnings? Because there's many of CEOs that can make themselves fabulously rich in just a number of 3 to 5 years by being creative with finance. So look at that. Also, look at my per-share earnings. No matter what. Never check for booby traps on the numbers. Never check for booby traps. Got everything. You can be creative as you want. Numbers are everything. Okay. Companies never need to invest in their employees, their equipment, their technology. They never need to reinvest. They can give all profits to shareholders and their CEOs. No matter how high the profit, it's good. Sign every contract. Don't care about the backwoods. Just care about the guns. Don't care about the honesty, the integrity, or the company's profits. Only care about the money. It's all about money. Cut. Good.